We got to talk about this today. Did y'all see the pictures going on the internet? She was spotted on like a little brunch date with Ray J.
Like, whatever we going through in this divorce, I just want to know and make sure that you and her good.
How dare him? I control men.
Folks, when you think that Wendy Williams' drama could get crazier, here's a recent development. Apparently, there's something serious brewing in Tinseltown, and whispers about the former TV diva's life being in danger are flying around. So, Wendy has recently been seen around Ray J, the guy whose reputation is shady as it could get. And you wouldn't believe in a million years who's pulling the alarm on this companionship: Wendy's ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, himself. According to him, Ray J might have had a hand in his ex-wife's recent troubles and health issues. Allegedly, Ray J was throwing illegal substances her way since 2021, knowing very well she's been fighting addiction for ages.
Now I'm going to tell you something. If it happens to me, it could happen to you.
You all remember those times when Kevin swore he meant well for Wendy and helped through numerous struggles with substances and alcohol. Turns out, he has a lot to say about Ray J and his presence in Wendy's life. The first person to spill the tea on this messy story was rapper Stunna Girl. She's been throwing shade at Ray J, calling him out in her recent Instagram post. Instead of constantly being worried about me, Ray J needs to focus on what he did to Wendy Williams. She ain't been the same since you took her on that substance binge gang. Serious allegations, right? And Ray J, he's been quiet about the whole thing with Wendy. But now, if you start digging into this man's past, you would find a pretty dire picture, full of connections with some industry bigwigs and even involvement with the listers.
Be able to be a part of this new television community in any aspect, from grip to production to directing.
Wendy has stayed out of the spotlight for a while now, and we've thought she was focusing on her health and well-being. Apparently, it was not the case, and she got real worse over time. Now, Kevin Hunter emerged from the deep hole he was hiding in and accused Ray J of making Wendy's substance struggles even worse. Everyone knows Wendy's been battling demons for decades, and it looks like Ray J made it even worse. Considering Wendy's health issues, she doesn't need any bad influence around her. Her team dropped a bombshell of their own in February 2023, revealing she'd been diagnosed with dementia after a battery of medical tests. It's a wild ride for her and the family, and nobody knows where it's going to go next and what would happen to Wendy in the end.
Wendy, why do you want to do this? You know, you have clearly some health issues that still need to be addressed.
It's with a heavy heart. The fans got hit with some heavy news about Wendy's health. She's officially diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia. These conditions mess with her language, communication, and thinking big time. What a nightmare for a person who made talking her living. It's been tough for Wendy as well. All her dreams of making a big comeback shattered like a fallen glass. Her medical team stated it was nearly impossible for her to continue working at all. She was on occasion seen unable to form words and acted erratically, including during tapings of her talk show, which left many fans concerned and confused. Wendy's been fighting with struggles in her life for what seems like forever. But here's where it gets messed up. Turns out the people closest to her weren't exactly helping. In fact, they were making it worse. After the divorce, the former TV diva got surrounded by all sorts of vultures preying on her problems and weaknesses. And that's something Kevin Hunter had no choice but to watch from aside for a few years now.
Like real concern or messages regarding what could be happening.
Now, with Wendy's life in serious danger, looks like Kevin plans to bury the hatchet and make everything in his power to help his ex recover. He's saying that's exactly why he needs to come back into her life. Not as a husband, that train has long left, but probably as a guardian. In his own words, nobody was stepping up to really help Wendy, and that documentary about her life was a real eye-opener for him. Kevin was shocked to see his ex-wife portrayed in such a negative light in the Lifetime trailer, and he was also totally blindsided that their son, Kevin Jr., ended up signing on to the project after he initially said he wanted nothing to do with it. In his opinion, it's a messed up situation. People in Wendy's inner circle were supposedly encouraging her addiction, thinking it'd make her easier to control. But it looks like many people aren't on Kevin's side here, and they believe he doesn't have best interest at heart here. As one person commented, Kevin Hunter should keep Wendy Williams' name out of his mouth. Everyone knows he did Wendy wrong. And another user added, Ken failed Wendy as a husband big time. But let's get back to this Ray J dude and his presence in Wendy's life after divorce. So he was often seen with Wendy during her tough times. There are tons of pics of them together. And sometimes Wendy looks out of it in those shots.
He's been seen locking arms with Wendy Williams and after they enjoyed an afternoon lunch together.
And it's not just Kevin who noticed the strange pattern. Ray J seems to be around female celebs when they're dealing with substance issues. Doesn't his strange friendship with Wendy reminds the story of Whitney Houston? She had her battles, especially towards the end of her life. And guess who was right there with her through it all? Yup, the same dude who's been plaguing Wendy's life now, Ray J. They were super close, which made everyone speculate if there was more going on. Some folks even called him her boy toy. Ray J brushed off the rumors, saying he was just a friend. But right before Whitney passed away from UD, they were seen together, leaving everyone guessing. And when her autopsy raised eyebrows too. There were inconsistencies suggesting more to the story than what was first reported and what Ray J has to do with all that.
you've been seen around town with Whitney Houston. Now I know, hanging out. Well, what's the deal right now? We hang.
People ain't buying the official story that she just drowned in that bathtub. A private investigator dug up some disturbing details like defensive wounds on her body. And Jaguar Wright, she's been vocal too, saying Whitney didn't just die in a tub, she was beaten. It's got fans wondering if Ray J had any part in it. Now, with Wendy's situation, folks are asking the same questions. Kevin Hunter, Wendy's ex, he's been stirring the pot too. He's backing up the rumors that Ray J might be involved in Wendy's struggles. Kevin now plays a role of a supportive ex. But let's be real, his history with Wendy ain't exactly squeaky clean, or should I rather say it was a total mess. This man has been gunning for her money for several years. He's been ranting about how Wendy cut him off and left with no alimony, but he was adamant he earned every cent.
Whatever I don't have, whatever is taken away from me that God don't want me to have, I'm gonna get back.
Now, with his attempt to play a knight in shining armor, folks can't forget that Kevin also was making a grab for Wendy's money after their split, claiming he was struggling to pay his bills. Life ain't been sweet for him since the checks stopped coming. Wendy's clearly surrounded by people who might be taking advantage of her, and Kevin's in the mix too, trying to get his piece of the pie. But here's the thing, while Wendy's battling her demons, the money issue is the last thing on earth that worries her. Now, that creepy association with Ray J could be more damaging than Kevin's attempts to make some cash.
When you watch yourself in a ratchet environment and you do either ratchet things.
But let's not forget that Kevin is rather a controversial figure in Wendy's life. While he's saying he wishes her nothing but well, wasn't that him who triggered her mental breakdown by a decade-long cheating? As she confessed in one interview, I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat. Now Kevin might not be everyone's favorite, but he's way less dangerous for her life than creepy dude Ray J. And according to him, Ray J is supposedly Wendy's puppeteer, her handler pulling strings behind the scenes. And here's more. He believes that Ray J is the reason Wendy keeps bouncing in and out of rehab. Apparently, every time Wendy gets clean and starts fresh, Ray J allegedly shows up with some new temptation, leading her right back into a destructive spiral.
People knew, but they wouldn't say anything.
Kevin's also pointing fingers at the industry bigwigs, claiming they prefer Wendy when she's down and out for good. It's easier to control her that way, he says. Fans also believe this may be true, considering Ray J's connections. As one fan wrote, Ray J is Diddy's runner boy. Diddy still hated Wendy because she was the first to expose him for the devil he is. Ray J is evil, and I can't wait until karma catches up with him. And another user added, it's so weird that Ray J would have anything to do with her. Definitely seems suspect to include his connections to Whitney. It's crazy to even think about the history repeating itself and Ray J being involved in Wendy's current situation, especially considering his past and connection to Whitney Houston just before she tragically passed away. And what do you think about this, guys? Do you think Kevin's spilling truth, or is he just looking for a payday from Wendy's deep pockets? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check my other videos.